All right, here is a CIP proposal for my current school at Capitol Hill High School, and we're going to discuss our plans for any plans to proposals of the things that you're going to see as we go through. We're going to address at this table of contents the school, the problem, and then we're going to provide an action plan, and then we're going to talk about an outcome for next. Some facts about Capitol Hill. Capitol Hill is located in the south side of Oklahoma City. It's originally named of which the school is located, which is the historic Capitol Hill. That's opened in 1928, and we currently host 9th through 12th grade, and is known to be in the predominant low income of multicultural communities. The mission statement for Capitol Hill is that they're by engaging the community, collaborating with families, and providing equitable access to education, CHHS will grow passionate lifelong learners who are future ready. Here's a quick review of the staff population and the student population of which is hold currently. Give you a brief second review. Here are some current academies that we are currently hosting at the school, which is called Academy of the Arts and Academy of Engineering. There's a brief description for both, where we talk about an Academy of Arts is more focused in dance, band, arts in that spectrum, and then when Academy of Engineering is most of our STEM students in Capitol Hill that works on field experiences of work-based learning activities at Capitol Hill.
The power structure at the school, there's one principal, 2 assistant principals, and then within the lower brackets, you have department chairs, grade level leaders, as well as counselors, and then below them would be the different teachers for both core classes and electives. Next slide, please. With currently with attendance, you can see there's a small data piece around chronic absenteeism. And currently this is the school's policy related to tardiness. You can make some correlations about the effectiveness of this policy so far by connecting it to the data.
So what is the problem? The first thing is that we are not engaging in the community. We are not looking at our mission statement and following it. All right, there's a disconnect between our school and our community, and we are not ready to make it future ready. The next thing is collaborating with families. We failed to do that. And of course, equitable access. We need to make sure that we are providing different things for the students to really hone on into based on their interests. Next slide. So as you guys can see, we have academic achievement, post-secondary opportunities in the overall grade. You can see that compared to the state and the school, our school is lower. So that is what we are looking to fix. We want to make sure that our academic achievement goes up and our post-secondary opportunities as well go up, which will in turn affect our grade. Next slide. So what we need to do is reconstruct our mission and values. We need to make sure that we are community-based, that we provide access, that we are committed, and we have collaboration with all stakeholders.
So before we talk about our plan, we are going to outline what our initial support structure is going to be so that we can actually bring this plan to fruition. So this is broken up into 5 steps. And the first step is going to focus on basically getting to those guidance counselors. We know they're overworked. The ratio is supposed to be 250 students to 1 guidance counselor. The average norm is about 490 students to 1 guidance counselor. They need this help. And so we would access them to kind of find out what programs they thought would be effective. Then we would move on to a focus group that are ally teachers and ally administrators to help develop and flush out the program. Then we would move on to step 3, which is bringing in those assistant principals and department heads to meet with the principal. So the APs and department heads to meet with the principal. Having a backup of people who are invested in moving on to this new opportunity. And then in steps 4 and 5, working on teacher buy-in and appealing to their shared vision of supporting student success, and then getting students' interest in terms of what they are looking for from their institution. And again, this is our initial support structure because we would use a mixed scanning approach to decide how we would move forward as we get more data about the implementation of this plan.
So our short-term goal is that we will create mandatory project-based AVID classes for 9th and 10th graders. And our long-term goal focuses on building up those new academies based on student interest so that they are aligned with career opportunities to strengthen our family and community connections.
As was previously mentioned, we talked about introducing the AVID program. So we would start with the 9th grade cohort. And the reason why we chose AVID is because of the success it has had with students in low-income communities and students of color, primarily by increasing their ACT scores, which for this school is how they, it is their standardized assessment. Then we would look into bringing in an effective advisory program to help bridge and build a relationship component between teachers and students, because that is a big disconnect at our school. We have our current data in terms of how students are currently doing with graduation, attendance, and post-secondary opportunities. And then we have a projected data for this class for 2024.
Our other suggestion is to bring in a 10th grade cohort, which is a career and college readiness CTE course that would be credited and mandatory for all 10th grade students. In doing this, we will be doing career exploration. This is a project-based course where students will be able to choose out or pick out career paths basically through obtaining their college degree. They will also be paired with a career mentor to establish a professional pathway through a series of personality, interest, and intelligence tests. In it, it's creating a professional mentorship program so that they can identify their career interests, understand what their career paths will be moving forward.
Once that interest is gathered, both through the mentorships and the surveys, then we're going to allow student voice to influence the founding of these new academies. And as mentioned before, there will be internship and shadowing opportunities, and we're going to collaborate frequently with programs like the Metro Tech and the local community college to make sure we're bringing in those mentors into the building. Next slide. Here are some possible academies that we anticipate building some interest based on both necessary careers for the area as well as what we have seen through the Metro Tech program. Next slide. Also part of our long-term is making sure that we are investing teachers in some ongoing professional development around cultural sensitivity that is directly going to align with the productiveness of the advisories as well. We're going to hire and train a family liaison to keep those connections with families and also related to the career path. And then as well as mentioned, the advisory training. Next slide. Our long-term evaluation, we expect to see that 75% of all students will be in good standing attendance by the end of this year. And next year, 85% of those students, a 10% increase in overall graduation rates and ACT scores by the end of this year. And within 2 years, we expect for a 10% increase in post-secondary success and a 30% 30% of our current sophomores graduating with some form of a certificate.
So we end with this quote: surround yourself with the dreamers, doers, the believers, and thinkers. But most of all, surround yourself with those who see the greatness within you, even when you don't see it within yourself. Edmund Lee. Thank you.
Thank you.